My name is Sarah. I am 24 years. In life, when you start a lie, you have to lie to keep the lie. Sometimes you want to stop, but you just can't. Here is the story of my life, be it a lesson or learning diverse words of English. I don't know what made me say it. Maybe it was the champagne. Maybe it was the way everyone at the party was bragging about their latest achievements. Promotions, new businesses, engagements, everyone seemed to have something going for them. I had nothing. So, when Amanda turned to me, her perfectly manicured nails wrapped around a wine glass, and asked, "So Sarah, what's new with you?" "I'm pregnant." The words tumbled out of my mouth before I could stop them. A chorus of gasps and squeals filled the air. Hands grabbed mine, eyes widened, and congratulations poured in from all directions. The attention, the excitement, it felt good. Then I saw Derek's face. My husband stood frozen, his beer halfway to his lips. His eyes were wide with shock, then pure joy. A slow grin spread across his face as he rushed toward me, pulling me into his arms. "Oh my God, Sarah," he whispered into my hair. I had no idea. "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" I forced a laugh, my stomach twisting with guilt. "I wanted to surprise you," I said, my voice barely above a whisper. If I had known how much that moment would change everything, I would have swallowed my pride and admitted it was a lie. But I didn't. And that was my first mistake. Derek was over the moon. From the moment we got home that night, he was buzzing with excitement, rubbing my stomach even though there was nothing there, researching baby names and talking about nursery colors. "We need to book a doctor's appointment," he said the next morning, practically bouncing with energy. "I want to hear the heartbeat." Panic crawled up my throat. "I already went," I lied quickly. I was waiting until after the first trimester to say anything, just in case. Derek nodded in understanding, his smile never faltering. "That's smart. But from now on, I want to be there for everything. Okay?" I nodded, my hands shaking as I sipped my coffee. The logical thing would have been to come clean. But how could I break his heart now? I had never seen him so happy before. And I liked the way he looked at me now. For the first time in years, our marriage felt stronger. He doted on me, bringing me breakfast in bed, massaging my feet, and constantly checking in on how I felt. He told everyone at his office. His mother called me crying with joy. Our friends showered me with love. It felt good to be special. So I leaned into the lie. It started small baggy clothes, avoiding alcohol, making vague complaints about nausea. Then I realized I needed to do more. I bought a fake pregnancy belly online, one that strapped around my waist and gave me a convincing bump. Every few weeks I upgraded to a bigger size, making sure to document my progress with staged photos. The first time I wore it in front of Derek, his eyes filled with tears. He dropped to his knees and kissed my stomach. "Hey there, little one," he whispered. "Daddy loves you so much." I swallowed the lump in my throat, forcing a smile. I kept up the act at doctor's appointments by claiming I wanted a private midwife. I even faked cravings pickles and peanut butter. Ice cream at midnight, oranges with hot sauce. Derek ran to the store without hesitation, returning with bags of whatever I needed. I should have felt guilty. I did, but I also loved being cared for. Loved. Being loved. As the months went on, I found myself trapped. There was no way out of the lie now. Derek was already building a crib. Friends were planning a baby shower. His mother knitted tiny socks and hats. I started preparing my exit strategy. "I don't want a hospital birth," I told Derek one evening. "I want a home birth, just me and the midwife." He hesitated, but eventually agreed. "As long as you and the baby are safe, that's all that matters." That gave me an out. All I had to do was fake a labor emergency and claim the baby was stillborn. It would be tragic. Everyone would be heartbroken. But no one would ever know the truth. It was a perfect plan. Or so I thought. The night before I planned to fake the stillbirth, Derek came home early. I had just taken off the fake belly. Relieved to finally breathe without the tight straps digging into my skin. I didn't hear him walk in. I didn't realize he was standing in the doorway until I saw his reflection in the mirror. His face was pale, eyes locked onto the fake bump in my hands. "Sarah," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. I spun around, my heart pounding. I can explain," I stammered. "But how do you explain something like this? How long?" He asked, his voice hollow. "How long have you been lying to me?" Tears welled in my eyes. "I didn't mean to." He let out a bitter laugh. "Didn't mean to? You let me believe we were having a baby, Sarah. You let everyone believe it." I couldn't speak. I couldn't breathe. Derek shook his head, stepping back like he couldn't bear to be near me. "I quit my job, Sarah. I was going to stay home with the baby. I had no idea." My stomach dropped. "I did this for us," I whispered, barely able to hear my own voice. "No," Derek said, his eyes full of hurt. "You did this for you." Then he walked out. And this time, I knew he wasn't coming back. The truth unraveled quickly after that. Derek told his family. Our friends found out. My phone exploded with messages, some angry, some just disappointed. No one could understand why I did it. Honestly, I didn't either. At first, I told myself it was just a small lie to fit in, to feel special. But somewhere along the way, it became more than that. I loved the feeling of being cared for. I loved the way Derek looked at me again, the way people celebrated me. But now, all I had was an empty house and a broken marriage. I sat on the bed, holding the fake belly in my hands, realizing how hollow it all was. I had lied about a pregnancy, and in the end, I had lost everything. I thought about calling Derek 100 times. Sometimes I picked up the phone, stared at his number, and even typed out a message. But what could I say? I'm sorry? It wasn't enough. Come back? He never would. Days passed, then weeks. Derek moved out. He didn't take the crib or the tiny baby clothes his mother had knitted. They sat in the nursery, untouched, like a cruel reminder of what I had done. Amanda texted me once. Why, Sarah? I had no answer. One by one, my friends disappeared. My job suffered too. I called in sick so many times they finally let me go. But honestly, I didn't care. The apartment felt haunted. The fake pregnancy belly still sat in my closet. And every time I saw it, shame burned through me. I started therapy. At first, I lied there too, trying to justify my choices. But the therapist didn't judge me. She just asked, "Why did you need to feel special?" I didn't have an answer then. But over time, I realized the truth. I was lonely. I wanted love. And I had chosen the worst possible way to get it. Derek never spoke to me again. I heard he moved to another city. He deserved happiness, even if it wasn't with me. As for me, I was learning to rebuild my life. Slowly, honestly. Some lies fade over time, but others leave scars you carry forever. Let me know what you think about my story, and what you have learned in the comments below. Do not forget to like and hit the subscription button for more stories like these.